You've probably heard this sung by Sinatra or Nat King Cole. This song has always perked my ears and puts a bounce in my step, but one that I've yet to learn. In this video, you're going to get a map of useful targets over the jazz standard, almost like being in love. Hi, my name is Jason Klobnak and I'm a jazz trumpeter from Denver, Colorado that helps musicians find a better way to improvise. If you're looking for a quick jazz improv tip that will help your soloing, then you've come to the right place. When the calendar flipped over to 2021, many of us looked at what we accomplished and what we didn't get done. One thing that's been on my resolution list every year is to learn more standards that I don't know, revisit ones that are forgotten, and to be able to play ones that I'm familiar with in keys that don't usually get called. So I wanted to invite you into this journey with me. This standard, for me, falls into the category of I've never learned it. I've probably heard it hundreds of times and have even played big band versions, but I've never learned the melody or internalized the chord changes. A version recently came on the radio and it was confirmation that it was time to get this one in. Like a lot of jazz standards, almost like being in love, came from Broadway. In this case, it was written by Frederick Loewe, and the lyrics were written by Alan J. Lerner for the musical Brigadoon. So if you're ready, let's map it out. If you're not quite sure what that means, be sure to stick around for the rest of the video and check out some of the previous masterclasses where we've mapped out other jazz standards. Almost Like Being in Love is a great one to look at for those that like to see key areas. There's no really big surprises to these chord changes. One thing that I do notice off the bat, though, is that we're in the key of A flat major, but the first chord of the progression starts on the 4 chord, which is this D flat major 7. In last week's video, I talked about finding major chords and immediately looking to the left. If we see a 5 chord or a 2 chord going to a 5 chord, we've got a key area. This week, it's important to note that in major keys, there are 2 major chords inside of a key area, the 1 chord and the 4 chord. In the A section, I needed to look a little further to investigate. Beginners might make an early mistake of assuming that this song is in D flat major, but we don't have any strong 2 5s that take us to the key of D flat. But we do in A flat. So we start with the 4 chord and then have a 5-1 cadence here. A 2-5 to B flat minor, which guess what, is the 2 chord of A flat, and moves into the recognizable 2-5-1 of A flat here. The bridge takes us to the key of F major with the 2-5-1 here, and then this sequence that doesn't resolve to its expected 1 chord. There's a 2-5 to E flat that doesn't go to E flat here. And then this C7 could be the 5 of F, which is the 2 chord in E flat, but guess what? It doesn't go there either. The bridge finishes up with a quick 2-5 that takes us back to the key of D flat, which again is the 4 chord of A flat. We return to a type of A section that has this interesting passing diminish between the 2 chord and the 1 chord in first inversion. That's almost like a 4-bar tag in the middle of the sectional form. The last 4 bars is the standard 2-5-1 in A flat with a quick 2-5 in D flat that takes us back to the top of the form. Outside of that passing diminish thing, the form to this is pretty simple. Large or macro key areas of A flat and F, with some quick modulations to places like D flat major, B flat minor, and E flat major. Knowing when and where these are will help us navigate the form. Here's my map of targets I'm intending to hit along the way. Because they're mostly all key areas, I can use the global key area targets. This is the 1, the 3, the 5, and even the 7 of the key area of the moment. It can work really well because those targets can become other chord tones on chords that are not the 1 chord. There's a lot you can really do with just that. Does this mean I won't use micro targets, which are the chord tones or guide tones on the chord of the moment? Well, not necessarily, because I can use those too. If you notice, I included 1 note as a target in some measures to reflect a chord tone that's either the 3rd or the 7 of the chord that it's on. I'm going to look for paths between the targets that are in close proximity to each other. As I get more comfortable with the form and changes though, I will eventually venture out. Ultimately, the goal is to be comfortable enough with them that when I play with other musicians, I'm focused on musical communication with them and not the targets themselves. The next step is to pick the tools I might use to get to these targets. Remember, this is my process for working something out. So I'll pick a tool or two and work them out. For this one, I think I'll use a combination of pentatonic key areas, chromatic targeting, and maybe even some diminished ladders to connect my targets. If you'd like to check out some of these tools and how to use them, there are links below in the description that will help you out. I'm going to play a chorus and then give you an opportunity to try it out on this video too. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that it has added value or benefit to your playing in some way. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell that's right next to it that lets you know when another video comes out. And if you know any other musician that you think might find this useful, please feel free to share it with them too. Until then, my name is Jason Klobnak, and I'll see you on the next one.